race carring. Ooh, welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Greg Chatmendy. That's why. Yeah. Along with my ground plebeian co-host, Gavin Rogers. And today, this is a Chargers funeral podcast. One time out for all the... Don't worry, guys. They will not be in the power rankings.
How does that work?
They are not. I made the power rankings, so actually I can prove that.
That's close.
Oh yeah, right. First we have to do week 18 run through, don't we? We have to do the week 18 run through. Just forgot about that one. The Lions beat the Packers. Packers starting backups. Jordan loves throw picks. Jared Goff good at football? Why? The Colts lost to the Jaguars. I want to talk about this one more. Hey, Indy. You thought you were Super Bowl contenders because you won a few games. You're so funny. You're so cute. Look at you thinking that you have any shot at doing anything. Oh, you're so adorable. Jonathan Taylor's the best running back in the league, huh? Aw, you're so cute. They're delusional. They think they can beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. No, they cannot beat the Jaguars. Now you can sit on the couch and watch the real teams play football. Like the Eagles. Football team Giants. The only thing that matters in this game is that one play got Joe Judge fired. QB sneak on a 3rd and 8. I have no idea what happened in this Bears-Vikings game. What happened in Bears-Vikings? Congratulations to Bears fans, though. The mean man Ryan Pace is gone. Honestly, that's more important than Matt Nagy. Bears fans probably hate Matt Nagy more than Ryan Pace. No, you're wrong if you think that. You know, Patrick Peterson got a pick 6 though, so good for him. I remember that. That showed up on. Yes, these are the actual scores. Bucks, Panthers. All of these games are pretty accurate. Bucks beat the Panthers. Brady got Gronk his incentives and made a pog face when he found out the Niners came back.
Just close your eyes and hit.
Dolphins, Patriots. Congratulations, your chances went from about a 10% to like a 75.
You're doing great.
Or whatever the coin says. So realistically, 50-50 either way. The Dolphins beat the Patriots, and the Dolphins... I retired this, but it's the dumbest team of the week award. And it's going to the Dolphins. You might have beat the Patriots, but... Sure, there was power struggles and all, right? But... He's the best coach you've had in, like... 20 years, and it's not really close. And sure, he told Tua that he should have drafted Mac Jones, which in reality, I mean, like, is he wrong? I don't think so. But honestly, it's more offensive to Jalen Waddle than anything. Because, like, I don't think people realize it's not just like an insult to Tua. Think of how much easier it is if he were to have Mac Jones instead of Tua. He's dealing with a right-handed quarterback instead of a left-handed one. He's dealing with a quarterback that's much better at just checking down instead of just throwing big pick because why not? It changes the blocking schemes to make it much easier. And you can work the right side of the field more frequently, which is what people tend to be more comfortable with when running routes, because, most quarterbacks are right-handed. Granted, he should have just said that to Tua, probably not, but Brian Flores is Brian Flores. He will probably either be a DC somewhere or a head coach. I wouldn't be surprised if he did DC. Alright, I'm about to feel some dead air for a while. Saints Falcons. Taysom Hill might have just ended his career as he lost all his mobility, and he's not a great quarterback accurately. It'll lose Frank. Hope he recovers. Everything goes well. The Saints won this game, but it was all for naught as Matt Stafford threw the game in spectacular fashion. And excuse me. Out in LA against the Niners, but the Saints, you put up. I give you congratulations for not only embarrassing Tom Brady 2 more times, but also, I would like to remind you, they were injured to heck. They've gone through 4 quarterbacks played this year for them. And that's not even like they were in Wildcat and they ran some trick plays. No, that was their starting quarterback. Their line was just continuously injured. Receivers, if they had a receiver for more than a week at a time, it was impressive. Kamara was out for half the year. Their defense was phenomenal, all things considered, too. I think this was a great season for what you had, New Orleans. Now, deal with that negative $60 million in cap space and see it probably in the top 10 picks next season. Texans, the Tennessee Titans are officially your number 1 seed, and good news, Titans fans, Derrick Henry is 99% chance to be back for the divisional round. So and the AFC runs through Nashville. This game was rather close, but it always is against Houston for the Titans. Ryan Tannehill was phenomenal, pulling off some witchcraft, and delivering some dimes to Nick Westbrook-Akina. Devontae Foreman had a pretty solid game. He remembered that he likes fumbling again, so he did that. And, the Titans had a record 90 players suit up for them this season. They were 16 players away from having 2 NFL rosters worth of players be active on their team. And they still are the 1 seed. And people are like, oh, the Titans are just going to lose in different. You still can't really. You have to appreciate this season from the Titans, all things considered. And you've got to really put some respect on them. And especially if they get Derrick Henry back and they get healthy for the playoffs, or at least healthy. This team could be dangerous as long as their corners play cornerback. And don't let Danny Amendola go off and whatever. Steelers. Ravens. The Steelers beat the Ravens in an overtime thriller as Big Ben threw to his talent and the talent dove for first downs. And that's what you love to see. The Steelers were pretty much dead to rights before the Jags lost. Or Jags won. And somehow they are in the playoffs. And that's great for them. Big Ben gets his last hurrah instead of winning maybe and just getting eliminated. Now he gets to go get decimated Dan Marino style by the Chiefs. Jets Bills doesn't really matter. The Bills kept us way too close with the Jets. Josh Allen is single-handedly carrying this team. Maybe if the Patriots can injure Josh Allen somehow and just end the Bills season. The Bills aren't good. They're not good. I think they can maybe win a game against the Bengals, but I think they, especially in the negative 10 projected game, I don't think they really stand a shot. It's cold. It's gonna be hard to throw the football. Playing a fumble fest. I think the Patriots got this against them, but we'll get that to later. Browns-Bengals, game doesn't matter. They finally told Baker Mayfield no more playing, go to the hospital. And he went to the hospital, so there's no Baker. No Bengals players really played. Burrow rested. The Browns still almost lost, which is Impressive. And this is just honestly a game that didn't matter for the Bengals, so they had no interest in playing, so they didn't. I'll get to this game last because it was actually the last game. So we'll go to Niners-Rams. Niners-Rams. This game went into OT, like this game above, and Deebo Samuel is just a god among men, apparently. Pretty much is carrying the Niners into the playoffs, like they're Derrick Henry. And the Rams have Jameis Winston now, as Matt Stafford just wafting game-losing interceptions, time and time again. He's on an arc, all right. Leave him alone. Cardinals Seahawks. It was what you expect for a Cardinals Seahawks game. The Cardinals struggled for a while and eventually just kind of lost. Russell Wilson looked great. It's looking like Pete Carroll's going to stay, so we'll see how that goes. But honestly, this is just more screwing over the Jets than anything, and the Cardinals should probably be concerned. Now we'll go to the last game of the NFL season, probably the best game of the year, and the Raiders versus the Chargers. If this game tied, for all of you that don't know, probably 0 people on the planet that don't know, if this game tied, both these teams made the playoffs and eliminated the Steelers. There was a bunch of raidering going on where the Raiders were just kind of going off deep plays, and the Chargers were going for it on 4th and 1 on their own 18, Charger things. And then, of course, in the Charger fashion, Justin Herbert carries them into an overtime thriller. They get stalled out their first drive, they punt. The Raiders do, at least. Second drive, the Chargers stall out and miss, or no, they don't punt. Raiders kick a field goal, barely sneaks in, gives a little kiss to the field goal post to really show the Vikings who's boss by Carlson. And the Chargers with Dustin Hopkins went right down the field, and he did the exact same thing to the other goal post. And the Raiders have the ball. They are not hurrying to the line. They seem content with just running out the clock. You hear the whistle blow. The Chargers have called a timeout, and everyone watching the game is like, wait, what just happened? Why did the Chargers call a timeout? And that forces the Raiders to run the ball one more time. And because the Chargers' front seven is terrible, Josh Jacobs plows forward, gets him into field goal range. The Raiders call a timeout, so there's no time left on the clock after Carlson kicks it, in case he misses. Carlson kicks it, goes in, and eliminates the Chargers from the playoffs. And as per usual, the Chargers' lack of time management and over-analytical thinking lost them the game. Now, I don't care what any metric says. By no means, unless you are losing with like a minute left in the 4th quarter, you should not be going for it on your own 19 with just a straight up run up the middle. That is overanalytic to death, and that's why I'm always going to say this. You gotta, and I mean gotta, figure out how to balance the analytics and the game sense. The Chargers are way too much on one side, and unless Staley can figure it out, I don't know how much he can succeed. Because that is just nonsense. It's idiotic. It's crazy that any head coach could reasonably think that that going for it there is a good decision. In the 3rd quarter, down by 3, just punt it. It's dumb. They're lucky that the Raiders only got 3 on that drive. And that 3 lost them the game. And Gavin's baby boy of a team, the Los Angeles Chargers, have been eliminated. The team he held in such high regard, the team he saw going to the top, having a great season, missed the playoffs by their own fruition. And you know what they say about Icarus? He flew way too close to the sun. And you know how sunny you can get in Los Angeles. Well, granted, there's smog and You know, but that's neither here nor there. And I guess that's going to lead us to our players of the week. Now, you might think after I talked about that for so long, it's going to be one of the key players in this game. Maybe Hunter Renfrow would deserve it, but other than that, maybe Max Crosby, like, no one really deserved it. It's going to, for the AFC, Ryan Tannehill, who had a phenomenal game. Pulled off some, he pretty much carried the team because Delonte Foreman was kind of having it rough. He had a solid game, but like he was throwing it all over the place, escaping the pocket. He was doing everything. And like I said, this award goes to players who I don't think could win their game without him. That's why Ryan Tannehill gets the award in Tennessee, and I believe only the second time the entire season let my bias get in the way a little bit and give it to a Titans player. So congratulations, Tanny. Now, who was my AFC defensive player? Why am I blanking on this? Oh my god, this is embarrassing. This is bad. Who am I blanking on? Who am I forgetting? Why am I forgetting someone? Why am I forgetting what I said my AFC defensive player is supposed to be? Oh, Melvin Ingram, right. Technically he was last week in the last week podcast, but I couldn't think of anyone else. Maybe TJ Watt could break the sack record, but he wasn't the reason they really Steelers won. But alright, for the NFC we're gonna go back to LA. And don't worry, we're not talking about the Chargers anymore. I already talked about how dumb they are. Compared them to Icarus, did the whole bit. Yeah, Icarus flew too close to the sun. And that's pretty much sums up the Charger season in a nutshell. But for the Niners are going to get 2 Player of the Week this week. In Deebo Samuel, who threw a touchdown, broke the single season record for wide receivers rushing touchdown.
It's okay, I just hit it off.
Maybe next season. And then Ambry Thomas, who had the game-saving interception that won the Niners the game. Like I said, my players of the week aren't going to the players with the best stats, otherwise it would go to a player like Dak Prescott. Because he had 5 touchdown passes, but that's stat padding, and they could have probably won that game without him, realistically. Alright, and before we get into the pretty much main bread and butter of the playoff predictions here, let's be going through our final regular season power rankings. It's not regular season, wild card, but whatever. I would ask, do you want evens or odds? But there's 2 evens back to back. Because as a reward for finally firing Ryan Pace, the Chicago Bears get to come back on the power rankings for one last hurrah at number 24. Welcome back, Bears. See you after the Super Bowl. Alright, now do you want evens or odds? Alright, great. Alright, number 14. I feel like this really goes without saying who I believe is the worst. I made this list for once. It's the Steelers. The Steelers do not belong in the playoffs. And that's saying something when the Eagles and the Raiders and teams like that are in the playoffs. The Steelers don't belong here. What are they doing? How'd they get here? Can't throw at all. He's what everyone thinks Lamar Jackson actually is. but that's what he is. He's just a running back. And then number 12, this one might shock some people, but I feel like it doesn't if you've really watched this podcast for the entire season. It's the Cardinals. I've not really ever been high on the Cardinals. Even when they were winning, I was like, these wins are sloppy, and like they blow out teams sometimes, but like how much of it is sustainable? And then it wasn't very sustainable because Cliff Kingsbury hit his end of season collapse. They still got into the playoffs. They're getting JJ Watt back, but they still don't have DeAndre Hopkins. And this offense does not work without DeAndre Hopkins. You can be like, oh, James Conner had a great season. He had a great fantasy season. He had a lot of touchdowns. Wasn't necessarily a fantastic running back. This offense has questions. Cliff Kingsbury has questions. I feel like in order for the Cardinals to win and go far in this playoffs, they're gonna need their defense to carry, because this Cliff Kingsbury late season offense is just mush. I'll explain why I put them here after you're done. Well, the Raiders beat the Chargers, who no one really thought they'd beat. They were like, oh, well, they're going to probably get blown up by the Chargers or something. And then they almost blew up the Chargers, and the Chargers chargered. The Chargers came back because of elite talent, and then they choked away the game. The perfect Charger. And do the Raiders really belong above the Cardinals in terms of quality of team? No. What? Anyway, it's just what the Raiders have gone through, and the fact that they're in the playoffs is astonishing. And honestly, they deserve all the praise. Congratulations, Raiders. Go ahead and beat the Bengals so that their fans are still sad. We'll find out what the coin says later. Rams. Matt Stafford throw a pick. If Matt Stafford no throw a pick, Rams go far. If Matt Stafford throw a pick, uh-oh. That's why they're 10, is because they're so drastically inconsistent. So, that's why they're here. Kind of like the next team on the list.
We're almost done, Mike. We're almost done, Mike. We're almost done. Who's that driver?
Imagine Bill Belichick running an air raid offense. Some wildcat sets in there with Mac Jones. I think if Mac Jones plays like he did in weeks like 10 through 15, they'll be good. If he plays like they did the last 3 weeks, I don't know. But that's kind of like every team. It's just, Kind of like the Niners, where you kind of know what you're getting, but you don't know how good you're getting, you know? It's like, you know what you're going to see from the Niners, but it's just whether or not it works. Can Jimmy G throw the ball to Deebo Samuel 10 times is pretty much the question you gotta ask here. And if the answer is no, they lose. If the answer is yes, They might still lose.
At 500 sounds really
I would do a key to success. There's still just too many teams, so maybe the AFC Championship we'll do that, but not right now.
X-Men. Oh god, way too far. Don't even try it. Oh god. I'm just.
Speaking of teams with a
Yeah, that was bad.
lackluster offense. Yes, sir. What offense are they watching?
I got a bogey. Plus 24.
It's been terrible since like week 5. They just score a lot of points against bad teams.
Bogey's the new eagle, huh? Bogey's the new eagle.
Oh great, you get to watch them score 50 against the backups of the Eagles. That means they're high powered.
We'll just say like.
See, that's the problem with looking at the average scores for points per game. Which is like, there's no other way to do it, but like, the Cowboys can score 16 points against, and then drop 50 on backups.
Oh no. Hard.
Just ask the Broncos. Yeah, just like the Bills, who are number 6 on the power rankings, in case you didn't get it. They fluster, and I'll get to this when we do my personal playoff predictions. I think they're going to lose this weekend. Rough. Because it's very cold weather, and what is it hard to do in very cold weather? Throw the football. You can't do it. It's very, very difficult. They can't really run the... Sure, Devin Singletary's had a hot couple weeks, but he kind of always does that. Just shows up 4 weeks out of the season, and then never again. And we saw what happened last time when it was a game of pretty much running the ball and attrition.
Right.
The Patriots came out on top by throwing the ball 3 times. And I don't think the Bills have the capability to keep up in a game of attrition against the Patriots, who are a deeper team, a better coached team, and a non-one-dimensional team. And that's why the Bills are here, because I just don't think they had the sustainability and variation in team strength to be even in the top 5. I struggled putting them here. I only put them here because I thought people would yell at me if I put them any lower. They struggle against the Jets this week. let's not act like it was a blowout. They struggled against the Jets. And, okay, sure, Titans lost to the Jets, lol. But, you're fighting for a playoff spot in your division and you're struggling against the Jets. It's not just some random game that Antonio Brown takes his shirt off and runs into the locker room. Did you just change it on the spot? Okay, go ahead. I didn't do this one. Yeah, playoff Lenny will probably have a good game against the Eagles. People think he's worth resigning for 10. Oh, he's out, so he can't even make $10 million a year because he had good 4 games. Slightly better Devin Singletary is what Leonard Fournette is. Maybe. Yeah, it's Giovanni Bernard. Is that who's next up? Le'Veon Bell, right. Keyshawn Vaughn. Did you say Vogue? Speaking of teams that you're probably going to have trouble stopping, but won't stop you, it's the Chiefs. Their offense is great most of the time. But their defense, they suck. The Chiefs are like comparable to the last year Titans in the sense that their offense is super high powered, scores a lot of points. But they don't blow out teams generally because their defense, and specifically the secondary, sucks. They've been better since they've been playing Chris Jones inside. Duh. Almost as if that's what he's made to do. But the Chiefs, I think, are probably the favorites to come out of the AFC right now. I know that I'm a Titans fan, and that's probably why I'm more cynical on the Titans, but I just think that they throw the ball a lot and good and scary. Yeah, just like the Titans game this year they played against the Chiefs. TJ Watt forces 3 fumbles. Yeah. This is unrelated, but Big Ben said he doesn't think he's going to win and has no chance, so he's just going to go have fun. Which I think is a great message. I think that's a great message to send your team. I don't think we have a chance at winning. Let's just go out there and have a blast, guys. Imagine, right? You're going to war. You're about to lead into battle, and your general says, "Yeah, we don't have a shot. Yeah, you're all gonna die, but have some fun while you're out there." I'd be like, well, shucks. This is a bad time to abandon and commit an act of treason. I don't think it's considered treason anymore, but it used to be. Number 3. The only thing that's treasonous is the idea of the Bengals winning a playoff game. Treasonous, I get it. Number 3. Nah, that could never happen. Nah. I feel like, honestly, the Raiders is the scariest team for them, just because the Raiders are so unpredictable. I don't think they're very scary against the Titans, because the Titans can just run up the middle and the Raiders will die. But like for a team like the Bengals, who kind of changes who their offensive identity is on a week-to-week basis, and the Raiders, who changes whether or not they want to have an offense on a week-to-week basis. Is it good? Does Derek Carr throw deep ball to Hunter Renfrow? Or does Derek Carr throw pick in the direction of Zay Jones? Yeah, whatever. It's the Bengals. What's there to talk about? Everyone knows they are. Jamar Chase is good at football. Joe Mixon's most of the time good at football. Joe Burrow's pretty good. T. Higgins is You think he's going to do that? Nerd. Speaking of teams that love to run the ball, we have the Tennessee Titans, who you will not be seeing this weekend. Yeah. Derrick Henry coming back. And you know what that means. Stretch, dive, off tackle. The Titans are the 1 seed, baby. This is probably the highlight of the season. Titans are, I think, not if the Steelers win. Speaking of teams that lost to or couldn't beat the Lions or something, I don't know. The Lions, the Vikings. There's no way. I think they lost another one. I think there's 2. The Chiefs. I think that's it, though. Lions, Vikings, Chiefs, Saints. But, the Lions game doesn't really count. They weren't trying. They didn't care. So there's a report coming out that Aaron Rodgers, if they make the Super Bowl, might boycott it. Which I think is one of those, he wants to get traded on draft night stories. Imagine being a quarterback whose legacy is almost tarnished by the fact they've only won 1 Super Bowl, making it to the Super Bowl, and out of petty saying, nah. He made it trying to prove a point. Like, guys, see, look, he's hurting his team. So those are our power rankings. If you disagree, we don't care, but you can tell us anyway. And then he still gets the ring anyway. Like I said, if you disagree, we don't care, but you can tell us anyway. And let's get to our playoff predictions. I will go first. Now, you'll only be able to see the wild card round, but so just try and keep it in mind what's going on here. So this is my personal predictions. Mine, and then we'll do Gavin's, and then we have a special guest. Steelers, Chiefs. I'll try and speed run this because this podcast already gone a bit long. Chiefs over Steelers. Tampa over Philly. Patriots over Bills. Niners over Cowboys. Raiders over Bengals. And then Rams over Cardinals. So, if you're keeping track, everyone, this means in the next round, we're getting Titans, Patriots, and we're getting Chiefs, Raiders. Then I have Chiefs and Titans, and then I have Chiefs. So the Chiefs won the AFC, long story short. And then we have Packers, Niners. I have the Packers winning that one. And then out of Bucks, Cowboys, I have the Bucks, and the Bucks lose to the Packers in the conference championship. And then the final score, the Packers probably win it. So my prediction, the Packers win the Super Bowl, everyone. It was Niners, Packers, and then did I say Cowboys once? I meant Rams, Bucks, whatever. Just misspoke. All right, your turn. Probably, yeah. I don't like that common trend that we had in both of them. Alright, now time for a special guest. I'd like you to meet Google Assistant. Now, we know this season doesn't make any sense. The Raiders had a coin that was more correct than probably most sports books. So, in the most 2021-2022 NFL season way possible, we're gonna have a coin flip. Guess these games. The home team is always heads. Away team's tails. Alright. We'll be starting off with Steelers Chiefs. Can you make sure you write this down so I remember? No, don't. Yeah, write down the matchups. Yeah, okay, yeah. Alright, let me know when you're ready. Alright. Flip a coin. Just so you guys don't know I'm not faking.
You got heads.
Yep. Bucks, Eagles.
It landed on tails.
Eagles beat the Bucks. The disappointment. Alright, you ready? You don't hear any sad.
It landed on heads.
Bills beat the Patriots. I know when you're ready again.
It's tails.
Niners over Cowboys.
You got heads.
Bengals over Raiders. Ha, I got heads. Alright, for the last wildcard round. Flip, thank you.
It's heads.
Rams over Cards. So what does that leave us for round 2? Packers. Alright. So we'll do the NFC first. Packers. This is Packers Eagles. Heads is still the home team.
It's heads.
The Packers go over the Eagles. And then Niners are tails, Rams are heads. For those who can't.
You got heads.
Alright. And the AFC, this is Titans Bengals, Titans heads, Bengals tails. Flip the coin.
It's heads.
Okay, the Titans beat the Bengals. I'm starting to feel a trend here. Alright, you ready for what's the last one? Bills Chiefs? Bills at Chiefs?
It landed on tails.
Oh, it's only figurative that the Titans have to face the Bills in the AFC Championship again. Alright. Rams at Packers. Packers are heads, Rams are tails.
It's
So Matt Stafford finally conquers his demons and Aaron Rodgers, and is advancing to the Super Bowl. Wait. Oh no. Titans are...
It's heads.
It's a Titans-Rams Super Bowl again. No! Not again. And we're in SoFi. Oh, great. Alright. Yes, I guess, technically, sure. Rams are heads now, Titans are tails.
You got heads.
God dang it. Not again. I wonder where they'll get stopped at. The Rams won the Super Bowl over the Titans. Packers. I had the Packers. Option D. The Raiders. Option F. The Raiders again. Alright. No, that's option Y, as in option Yinzer. Or option S for option Steelers going to Super Bowl. That's our podcast. Let me know what your playoff predictions are in the comments. We'll probably both be wrong and get loose of the coin. And so we only keeping it for draft bets, or you want to do a bet on which was closer for this one? But I guess it doesn't really make sense, because what if we're terribly wrong in the first round, then we can't be right physically for the rest of... I guess it doesn't make sense, but I do have an idea for the draft bet that we get to... Yeah, but like the draft, at least it's kind of linear, like you know who's generally getting picked places. But like for the playoffs, say like... So then we have to do a duet. Alright. If we lose, we have to sing just the two. Alright, wait, hold on. I think we can do this. As long as it hopefully doesn't start playing. Pick a song.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Pick a song. Not take, pick.
Here are the top search results.
No. Pick a song.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
What's your favorite song?
Anything with auto-tune. I feel like I can relate to those songs.
Alright, we're singing a Daft Punk song. Get lucky it is. Alright. Chatmendy co-host